Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ummi Ahbadinain. I'm the first presenters in this group. Uh, I will explain about the Korean table manner. And then, for the first is when having a meal with the older, wait for the elders to hold their spoon first and then start eating. Respect to older has always been an important tradition in Korea. And for number two is say thank you to show gratitude when when someone give to us some food or some meals, and then taste soup or kimchi juice, and then try the rice or other dishes. So use spoon for rice and then liquid foods such as stew or soup, and then do not make noises when spoon or chopstick hitting the rice bowl or other foods, and then do not hold the rice bowl or soup bowl in your hand during the meal. And then number six, and do not point around the rice or side dishes with the spoon, and then do not pick up what you don't like or the sake of seasonings, and then do not leave any trays or anything or any food on the spoons while eating. And then during the meal, on table parts such as bones or fish bone are quickly discarded by wrapping them in a paper so that others won't see them. And the last point is about when choking or sneezing during a meal, face the other way from table and cover your mouth with your hand or napping.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Pradipta Arkadi Kumal Ningrum, student number 16008, and I'm here to present or explain the next material. It is still about table manner in Korea, and it is the next point. It is point 11, and then 11 eat the rice and side dishes from one side, and then 12 do not use your hands to pick the food. 13 chew food with your closed mouth, and do not make noises while chewing. And 14 do not leave the table while eating. 15 do not read a book or newspaper or watch TV while eating. And then 16 do not reach across the table for a distant food, but ask a nearby person to pass it to you. And then 17 used an individual plate for food served for a crowd, and for sauces such as soy and vinegar sauce, or sweet and sour hot pepper soybean pasta. And 18 try to keep the pace by having by eating not too fast or too slow, and when having a meal with elderly, wait for them to put the chopstick and spoon on the table at the end of the meal. And then 19, at the end of the meal, pour sumyong, or it is boiled water in the rice cooker, or scorch rice tea into the rice bowl and drink it. And then 20, after a meal, put the spoon and chopstick on the spot where they were placed first, and put used napkins on the table after folding it a little bit if they are big. And 21, when using a toothpick, cover your mouth with one hand and discard the toothpick afterwards so others won't see it. Okay, the next material will be presented by my friend.
Hi, my name is Fardin Anita, my student number is 16009. I will explain you the Korean table manner, especially in this slide. Dining with elderly people. This first one is the space furthest away from the entrance door is the best spot, so reserve it for the elderly. Second one is when having a meal with the elderly, wait for the elders to hold their spoon first and keep pace with them. The third one is sit with your body in upright, straight positions. The fourth, when the elderly person is getting up after finishing the meal, get up together. And the last one is if you finish the meal before the elderly, place a spoon in the rice bowl, and when the elderly person has finished the meal, place it on the table. Okay, go to the next slide. How to use chopsticks and spoon. And I will give you an example. This is chopsticks and this is spoon. Okay, the first one is do not soak the chopsticks and do not hold spoon and chopsticks together like this. Don't do this. The third one is the spoon and chopstick should not touch any bowl or dish during the meal. And the last one is use spoon for rice and watery foods and chopstick for the other side dishes. And I will explain you the right way to use spoon. Like this. This is the right way to use spoon. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vicky Pradipatulotama. Now I'm going to explain about how to use chopstick in South Korea. How to use chopstick in South Korea. First, place one chopstick inside of thumb and reach to fourth finger. Second, place the other chopstick between the index finger and middle finger and hold by pressing with your thumb. And the third, freely move chopstick by pressing thumb and only using your index and middle finger. For example, in this picture. Okay, next I'm going to explain about table manner in Indonesia. Table manner is a rule or ethic that are used when people eat their foods at dining table. Spoon and forks are used in Indonesia. And then here's some eating or dining ethic if you are in Indonesia. The first is eat or pass food with only with right hand or with both of hands. And the next is not all Indonesian on dining table, so don't be surprised if the host asks you to sitting on the floor. Make sure while sitting that you sit in a position where our soles of your feet are showing, or the name is duduk bersila or cross-legged position is acceptable. It is not common to use fork and knife on dining table in Indonesia unless at the restaurant. And the next, depending on the situation, eating using bare hand is also not strengthening in Indonesia, especially if you eat dry food or without soup or gravy. And the next, in certain situations, you will find small bowls filled with water and lime slices on the table. And the next is food is often taken from a served dish in the middle. You will be served the food and it would be not considered rude if you help yourself after that. And the next, let the elders to take the food first. Next, eating with closed mouth when you chew the food without noisy. Close your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And the next, do not fuddle the food with your utensils. Don't lean your back to sit back and fold your hand when you are at dining table. Don't pick food from someone else's plate and don't ask food from someone else's plate as well. And the last one is, don't be surprised if there is no napkin on the table, because tissue is the more common thing. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
안녕 친구! I'm your main host, Professor O. Every country has their set of table manners. What's Korea's? The level of tradition varies upon each household. A Korean family living in Korea may be more traditional, while a Korean family living in a foreign country will naturally be influenced by other cultures. And generally speaking, the Korean table manners are less strict compared to decades and centuries ago. Whatever the case, it's good manners to follow the basic Korean table manners when you're under a Korean roof. Rule number 1. Before eating your meal, remember to say to the cook, or the one paying for the meal, 잘 먹겠습니다. I will enjoy this meal. I will eat well. You can also say this to the waitress when they're serving your dish. Sometimes the cook will also say 잘 먹겠습니다, like if they're the Korean mother who prepared the meal and they're sitting at the table with you. 잘 먹겠습니다 is a polite greeting to show appreciation for the food. Separately, the characters are pronounced as 잘 먹겠습니다. Together, it's 잘 먹겠습니다. Say it with a smile. 잘 먹겠습니다. Rule number 2. Wait for the oldest person to lift up their utensil before you take your first bite. And if you happen to be the oldest person at the table, don't be such a tease. Pick up your spoon or chopsticks before you take your selfie. Rule number 3. Try not to finish eating your meal before the elder. Take your time. Enjoy the food. The more you chew, the better it is for your digestion anyways. Rule number 4. When eating at a Korean dining table, there are shared dishes. Do not poke at these shared dishes. Never, ever dig around. You're not an archaeologist on expedition. Just grab the food in one shot with your chopsticks or spoon. Rule number high 5. Do not make loud noises while you're eating. It's bad manners to slurp. However, I've seen some Korean grandpas and ajishis, middle-aged men. They slurp and chew with their mouth open, please don't do this. It makes people lose their appetite. Chew with your mouth closed no matter what age you are. Rule number 6. Please do not leave the table while everyone is still eating. It would be wise to use the bathroom before you eat. And it's common courtesy not to check your phone while you're eating with other people. Rule number 7. Keep the rice and soup bowls on the table. Don't pick them up and drink or eat from it directly. Always use your chopsticks and spoon, never your bare hands. And while you're eating, do not hold your chopsticks and spoons at the same time. And please don't hold them in the same hand either. Rule number 9. In addition, do not stick your chopsticks in a bowl of rice. This is something that is done when honoring the dead. Rule number 10. Double high 5. Remember to sit properly with good posture. Do not shake your legs. And when sitting on a chair, do not sit on the chair as if you're sitting on the floor. However, if you're sitting on the floor, it's okay to cross your legs. Rule number 11, last rule. After you eat, remember to say 잘 먹었습니다, which means I ate well. 잘 먹었습니다. It's a polite way of showing that you enjoyed the food. Does this sound like a lot of rules? Some of the rules are common sense. And actually there are more detailed rules and whatnot, but these are the basic ones you need to know. If you're a foreigner, the native Koreans won't be as offended if you don't practice all these rules. They understand that you might not know them. However, please do chew with your mouth closed. And most of all, enjoy your meal. See you next KL Wednesday for more travel episodes, and on Mondays for more phrase lessons and cultural tidbits. 안녕!
The one in the middle represents Shakyamuni Buddha, otherwise known as Siddhartha, the historical Buddha. The statues on the sides symbolize Amitabha Buddha, and
First,
the one in the middle
indicate the AM
represents
or PM,
Shakyamuni
or
Buddha,
dawn,
otherwise
morning,
known as Siddhartha,
evening or night.
the historical
Then you say
Buddha.
the hour
The
and then the
statues on the
minutes.
sides
For
symbolize
example,
Amitabha Buddha,
5 a.m.
and Bai
is
Saju Buddha,
오전
the
5시.
medicine Buddha.
You can
The
also
one
say
in the middle
새벽 5시.
represents Shakyamuni
12:30 p.m.
Buddha, otherwise
is
known
오후
as
12시.
Siddhartha.